Hey everyone, my name is Sean, and this is Sean Stocks. Welcome so much back to my channel. Today we're going to continue talking about the underdog, the lucky stock, the one and only CLOV, C-L-O-V. I made over 50 videos on CLOV. Really happy, really excited to continue talking about this stock. And you know what? It feels like every single day we got a roller coaster of movements going up and down and moving the stock all over the place. And again, today was something that, again, you just got to appreciate the amount of opportunities that this stock gives to even day traders. I'm not a day trader personally, but you take a look at this and amazing. It's really just something to take a look at. So let's look at this together. For the day, we opened up at $8.36. That's where we opened up at, and immediately we saw a drop down to $8.31, and you're like, oh geez, but here's the nice thing. If you see the intraday low really early on in the day, it's always, in my opinion, a pretty good sign. Okay, so we hit that point, and boom, in a couple of minutes, we swung at 9:51 a.m. We went all the way to $8.69. That's like a 4.75% increase within only 21 minutes. You take a look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing's about to rip. I was so excited, so pumped to see this great movement early on in the day. But of course, once you hit the intraday high, it doesn't last. So we did go down. a little bit, back down to 840, hit kind of like a George W, then going above that volume weighted average price, that orange line right there, and basically, went in between, $8.50 and $8 and about 60 cents ish around there for the rest of the day, where we ended off at $8.58. Overall, a green day. Hey, I'm not going to complain. 1.18% increase for the overall day. And, the other thing to take a look at this is you feel like there's some people on the other side that are trying to stop this, because take a look at this. When we open up this picture of the day, we can see, not that one, but this one right here, 512,000 shares of this stock. We have the ask right there at $8.65. Someone's building this huge wall. I've never seen that much. It's definitely some algos doing it, or someone's doing it in order to try to stop this momentum of this stock. So you definitely put on your tinfoil hats and take a look at this. And of course, what happens to it? It's gone, right? At the end of the day, we're done. It's gone, right? So again, someone did not want to see this stock move up like crazy today. And so, it's one of those things where you got to look at it and you got to be like, hey, where's the best place to buy in? And again, it was this morning, $8.31. And, overall, someone's trying to stop this, at the end of the day, and like, it's a little bit rough. Because we all really want to see this thing shoot up like crazy. We all want this thing to really rip and get up there, back where it should be, in the $20 range, high teens, early 20s type range there for this stock. So maybe we will see that happen soon. But take a look at the volume, 13.4 million. Again, pretty low volume comparing at the average volume of 56.59 million. Of course, the average volume is dropping over time because we're just low volume days. Maybe that will hopefully increase days to cover, but we'll have to take a look at that. When you take a look at the order flow, again, maybe we're back to this 000 trend, 000 trend of the day. So 0 large scale orders for this stock today. But of course, that doesn't stop everything, right? Because when we take a look at the dark pool data for this stock, we see a ton, 6.948 million for dark pool. So again, this stock is being very heavily traded in the dark pool, almost continuously at 53.51 freaking percent. That is a lot. I think one of the highest that I've ever seen this was in the 60% range. So again, we're shooting up there. There's a lot of institutions, a lot of pension funds, all that stuff, banks, all that stuff, right, that are trading in the dark pools in order to see, in order to match up and get those big blocks going there. But maybe that's a really good sign, but maybe it's not. It's very hard with that dark pool data to see what's going on, but it's kind of part of that. Again, we're talking about this basket theory of like all the meme stock being in baskets and stuff like that, where we've seen a lot of movements that is similar to other stocks going up, and we saw those a couple of days ago as well. But overall, as you can see here, dark pool 53.51%. Really crazy moves. But let's take a look. We're going to go a little bit earlier on today. Ape Wisdom, see the trending stocks on Reddit in the past 24 hours. Obviously, we got the S&P 500. That's been up there for a while now. S&P 500 Corsair Gaming, GameStop, AMC, Alibaba, Skills, Tesla, Zoom, etc. And so overall, we're moving down on the list. There's not really a lot of momentum. It's kind of staying again in that $8 range. I really want to see this stock fly out of that $8 range, hit 9, hopefully by the end of the week. That's something that I do want to see. But right now we're sitting at number 19 for this stock, and people are still hodling like ever. Okay, and so buying calls, buying squeeze bag, root. They're again comparing us to different one. Could it be months? That's something that again people are saying when you take a look at that, and it's like, okay, are we looking like AMC where they went from January all the way to June, February, March, April, May, June, so about 5 months right there, okay? And here we are, June, July, August, September, October. Could we see something in October, September when you take a look at that? Again, another one would be Roaring Kitty talking about GameStop in August, and then we see something happen in January. Obviously, people have these hunches. People have these hunches about stocks and stuff like that. Maybe people are correct in that, but we will see. We'll have to see whether or not this will take months. Overall sentiment's pretty good though. 74%, not too bad. Not too bad when you take a look at it. But let's go ahead and look next at the short interest data. We take a look at the short interest data within Nortex. But first, if you like this video so far, please smash that like button for me. It really does help. Also, subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notifications on my upcoming videos. Sometimes I really do like to do live streams randomly. Hopefully I'll have a schedule soon on my live streams, but so far if you've been ringing the bell, you can get notifications on when I do live streams as well. So take a look at the short interest data for CLOV. Right now, we dropped down a little bit. When you take a look at the short interest percentage of the free float, it's 16.26%, right? So we moved down a couple, 3.94% there. But still, take a look at cost to borrow average, cost to borrow max, 2.53, 3.54 for that data. And then, of course, days to cover, 0.91 days. I think that will start to increase again as the volume continues to be low. And the utilization rate is at 94.81%. Very, very freaking high. Even after we saw a little bit of a dip in the utilization and the short interest percentage of the free float, again, we continue to see very, very high numbers for those that I would consider. Again, AMC went at 17% for the short interest percentage of the free float. We're right now at 16.26, very, very close, and a lot of good catalysts that are coming up. For example, we got 2 patents today. One is called Models for Utilizing Siloed Data, and the other one is called Clustering Data Regarding Healthcare Providers. Let me read these abstracts, because you see these things and you're like, okay, is this good? Let me first talk about it real quick. So again, is this good, right? Well, here's the idea. If patents are in the picture, right? Think about it. You watch Shark Tank, everything. The biggest question that they're asking is, do you have a patent, right? Do you have a really good patent? I think Clover Health definitely has a couple so far, 1 out of 4. So overall, a good amount so far, but these two are pretty important, right? Because patents are important because they get smart money and institutions into this, hopefully for the long term. When we see stuff like this, hopefully we get it for the long term. So I wouldn't be very surprised if, again, this week, next week, we saw big institutions start seeing this and, again, starting to get into it, because this is definitely under the radar news. I think it was pulled up by Bazinga and stuff, but overall kind of under the radar. But maybe the people that are really looking into the potential for catalysts for the stock see that. And again, of course, we have other stuff as well, which I'll go into in a second. But overall, it does, like, stuff like this does help build that moat for Clover Health in general, right? And as the saying goes, like moats earn boats type of ideal stuff like that, right? So hopefully we get that moat being built essentially for Clover Health in order for people to get more confident in the stock overall if you're a large institution or investor. But we got other stuff as well. This is something great that caught us by surprise, but we also have Clover Health present at the 2021 Wells Fargo Virtual Healthcare Conference on September 9th. Definitely great to see as well. So again, I'll have the links of that. And then, but going back, of course, got a couple of things, right? The first thing is this one right here, the clustering data regarding healthcare providers. It says techniques and architectures for clustering healthcare providers based on data regarding services that have previously been provided by healthcare providers are described herein. For example, the techniques and architectures may receive data from devices of healthcare providers regarding services that have been provided by the healthcare providers to patients. The techniques and architectures may perform various machine learning techniques, including clustering, to categorize healthcare providers into multiple clusters based on the services that were provided. Healthcare providers that lie within a cluster may be associated with the category of a cluster, while healthcare providers that lie outside of the cluster have designated themselves as an associated or are otherwise associated with the practice area that is associated with the cluster, may be flagged for potentially practicing outside an area that is designed or otherwise associated with the healthcare provider. So definitely a good amount of information out there. Key points, though, take about look, machine learning techniques. Again, Clover Health has been consistently in kind of their announcements and stuff, positioning themselves as a technology company. Overall, we see them as a hyper growth technology company. So again, overall, really good to see that. Take a look at this other one though as well. This one talks about models for utilizing siloed data. So systems and methods for models utilizing siloed data are disclosed. For example, data stored with and or available to one or more systems may be siloed such that it may not be aggregated or shared with other systems. This presently disclosed system and methods generate and utilize predictive layers and models to allow each system to predict outcomes using its own data, and then models are shared between systems to allow each associated system to gain the benefit of the data of other systems without aggregating such data or otherwise sharing the data. So, again, talking about siloed data, right? I mean, kind of important to have that, right? But of course, a lot of predictive layers, stuff like that, again, kind of like, again, that machine learning type stuff. I don't, obviously, I'm not majored in stuff that involve that, but this seems, again, still promising. The fact that they will patent stuff like this definitely seems like really good catalyst to help out with the stock to build confidence in it as well. So hopefully, if you have more information, or if you just want to comment down below about these, if you are in that field and want to expand on what this exactly means in more detail, definitely comment down below. I really want to hear from you as well, right? But overall, really, really good news to hear early on at the tail end of August here before we have this healthcare conference coming up. But you take a look at other things, right? You take a look, of course, at options, right? They're kind of important, right? Obviously, we want to hold shares. We want to hold shares for stocks like this because you don't really know. You don't want to play the game because who's selling you the options? It's probably not other retail investors that are trying to sell you those options, I would say, in bulk, if you take a look at it. But, for this coming up September 3rd, we have, of course, kind of a like 50-50 almost for bullish 353.27 thousand versus bearish 300,000. Okay, versus if you take a look at September 17th, we got a little bit more, 305 versus 84, and again December 17th, 2021, huge 589 versus 51,000 for bearish. So overall, a lot of good stuff to see coming up. With the options, if you buy them, if you have confidence that we'll see something by then, and based off the stuff that I see, of course, I'm here. I have like one option right now, one option call right now, right? But overall, 90+% of my money, of course, is in the stock and shares, right? And so that's definitely some distinction that people want to make. But overall, really good information about that, good catalyst. Of course, follow me on Twitter if you see my Twitter. But take a look. Of course, we got to talk about a meme. We got to talk about a meme for the day. So sorry, I'm tired of seeing it today. So Clover Health got 2 U.S. patents. That'll help the squeeze, right? It'll help, right? So, obviously make a little bit of fun with it, but it might, not help in the short term, right? But it definitely will help investors get involved. Big time institutions and stuff like that see the potential again for Clover Health to build that moat, around that Clover Assistant and its high potential. Again, with this subreddit, we got 43.1 thousand members. Big group of people here. I'd say one of the biggest group of investors after GameStop and after AMC. So really, really excited to see that. And again, we got the Discord. I'm always in the Discord as well if you want to check it out. But overall, if you want me to talk about anything else, please comment down below. I really want to hear from you. But as always, I hope you have a great trading day tomorrow. You lucky people. Take care. Bye-bye.